Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this week's weekly market view for Monday, the 20th of November to Friday, the 24th of November, 2023. My name is Vishal. Let's get started. All right, let's start with the Nifty chart, and we're going to start with the monthly chart. So let's go to the monthly chart and see what is happening on the monthly chart. So after a negative month, we see a positive month, but again, these are just signs of consolidation. Nothing is clear. We might continue towards making the all-time highs based on the monthly. But let's closely watch what's happening on the weekly chart. So if you look at the weekly chart, we had this weekly supply zone. Now this weekly supply zone um, did give us a breach here, but it failed to close above the high. Now, can this be a false breakout and markets can consolidate and start turning down again? We can only come to know that in the coming weeks. But however, right now, what we also see is that the prices are reacting from this weekly pivot. So if I draw a supply zone, you can just fairly see how the prices have just pierced above this weekly supply zone, possibly stopped out a lot of people who were short, and now maybe this could be a potential trap. Let's move on to the daily chart to see if there's anything more clearer on the daily chart. So on the daily chart, you can see this wick, how the prices have wicked out just above these resistance levels, and possibly there is some supply sitting over here on maybe a 75-minute or a 125-minute chart. We'll just quickly look at that as well. But this is what the price action is showing on the daily chart. Now, if you look at the overall price action, we are coming closer to expensive areas. Okay, so if we are coming closer to expensive areas, the one thing that we should avoid doing is going long. Okay, and maybe if you do not want to get into shorts, maybe you can wait for some confirmation. But at this moment, you are not going to be possibly getting into longs. All right, that's what the curve analysis is telling us. Now let's move on to the 75-minute chart or maybe the 125-minute chart. And very, very clear on the 75-minute chart is this area over here. So I'm just talking about this gap area. So we're just going to mark this area something like this. And this is that supply zone or that gap supply zone, which is just sitting above that daily resistance level. Okay, so you can see all this trading that has happened here, and markets have given one move and possibly reacting from this area here. Now, is there a possibility that markets can go up again towards this level? The answer is yes. And can we get a sell-off again from this level? Possibly yes. Because this is indicating that there are or there could be some more unfilled orders sitting at 19,882 to 19,980. So for this coming week, for this expiry, this week's expiry, as well as next week's expiry, these are or this level is going to be the key level to watch out for on supply. On the demand zone, you have a demand zone which is further away from current market price. So this is that gap level, and we might expect that in case if the market begins to correct, we might expect the markets to come down towards the 19,300 odd levels. Okay, so it's going to be an interesting week on the Nifty. Let's move on to the Bank Nifty and let us see what's happening on the Bank Nifty. So I'm going to load the Bank Nifty chart now, and as the chart is loading, let's start off with the monthly chart first. So if you go into the monthly chart, just reload this. Yeah. So if we start off with the monthly chart, we can clearly see that compared to the Nifty, the Bank Nifty is looking slightly weaker. And here we can see that how the prices are reacting within these pivots and possibly indicating a little bit of a correction on the Bank Nifty. All right, that is what we are seeing here. But let's move on to the weekly chart to get a little bit more clearer picture. Now, if you look at the weekly chart of Bank Nifty as compared to the Nifty, although the Nifty weekly supply zone did breach, the Bank Nifty weekly supply zone is still holding. Okay, so what does that tell us? This tells us that possibly Bank Nifty could be, spoiling the party for the other indices. And in case if Bank Nifty begins to fall from this weekly supply, then we might see the Nifty indices as well as some of the heavyweight stocks also correcting to the downside. Let's move on to the daily chart here. And on the daily chart, We had this daily supply zone, it was breached, and now this is that weekly supply zone. And right now we are seeing a strong reaction coming from this weekly. In fact, we had a significant gap down, and usually there is not a very big difference in the Nifty and the Bank Nifty, but on Friday we saw nearly Bank Nifty trading 500, 600 points negative as compared to the Nifty, which was maybe around 30, 40 points negative only. Okay. But anyways, this is what we see on the price chart right now. So these are going to be key gap levels. Let's move on to an intraday chart now, just to see more clearly what is happening or what is likely to happen this week. So I'm just going to remove all the tools and we can do a fresh analysis here. Yeah. So let's look at the 75-minute chart. And on the 75-minute chart, we can see that the market did come in, react to these levels. Now, as compared to the Nifty, just about all this, we have these key levels over here, right? So we have this gap level, which is going to be a key level to watch out for. So in case if there is any kind of positive news that comes in, we could see prices going in here and then prices significantly correcting once they hit here, right? So we are still a little bit somewhere, I would say, in the equilibrium right now, and because the trend or the overall trend is still a little bit sideways to down, we are getting reaction from these levels. Okay, so keep a close watch on this level as well. This is that level from where the market has got a significant reaction. Can the price revisit this level and give another big fall? Surely, yes, it can. And also keep note that as much as demand is being tested, all these areas now are getting filled. So in case if there is a further rally to the upside, there is a possibility of an even bigger fall because now all this is tested demand. So it's less likely to hold in case if the markets begin to correct and correct significantly. But just wait for the right opportunities, wait for the key levels to come, and then possibly you can take your entries. All right, let's move on to the next index, Nifty Financial Services. And let's see how Nifty Financial Services looks for this week. All right, so we have the charts loading now. I'm just going to start off with the monthly chart first. So again, the monthly chart of the Fin Nifty and the Bank Nifty look very similar. So nothing much additional to say. But if you look at the weekly chart, just like the Bank Nifty, the Fin Nifty is also reacting from a weekly supply. Okay, so time to be a little cautious on longs at this point in time. And let's see if we are able to spot any supply zones. So this also level breached, and again, very similar to the Bank Nifty, it's reacting from this possible pivot area, right? So we have a demand zone at around 18,850 to 18,660 to the downside. And on the supply zone front, very similar to the Bank Nifty, there are two key levels here. The first level is going to be this level here, rally based drop. This is going to be a key level, 19,918 to 19,989. And then this is going to be that that level which coincides with the Bank Nifty, 20,059 to 20,200. Right. So there is a possibility that depending on what the SGX Nifty is today, markets can be consolidating sideways, or it might even start to move down, or then we might start to see a retracement towards 19,918 to 19,989. All right, so these are the key levels for the Fin Nifty. Now let's move on to the USD INR. So let's look at the USD INR. That's going to give us even more clues on the direction of the market. So let's look at the USD INR. Okay, let us see if anything has changed from last week. So as we can see over here, we are still consolidating here at the resistance levels. If you go on to the weekly chart, the weekly is still failing to close above these highs, although it's, it did try to make an attempt last week as well. And this week has also been pretty volatile on the USD INR, but nothing, rather to say no outcome. If you look at this entire chart here, you can see how many times the prices have come here, tried to breach this 83.34 handle and have failed to do that. And then the market has gapped down and again come back into this range, right? So if I just remove all the tools now, and if I just, you know, maybe I don't use this, but maybe I just use a zone marker here. And if I just plot this zone here, right? So this is not a supply zone. I'm just using the supply zone tool here. Um, but maybe to avoid any confusion, let me just change the color of this. Yeah. So this is the consolidation. And as you can see over here, markets are trying to push up, then markets are trying to push down. So it's likely to break out or it's likely to even break down. And unless and until that happens, we might expect to see USD INR trading in a very, very tight range from 83.35 to 83 handle on the daily chart. So keep a close watch on this. If we go to the intraday chart, let's look at some key levels on intraday. So we'll go on to the 75-minute chart. So we do have uh, this gap level over here, and let's go ahead and mark this level. So this is that gap level, and in case if the USD INR pops to the upside, then we are going to see a little bit of a stronger corrective move on the indices because the USD INR and the indices are inversely correlated. And if you look at uh, some of the key levels of demand, you have this gap level over here, which is sitting within this area here, 80 to 77 to 80 to 66. And then just below all this price action, you have another gap level, which is slightly below. This is that entire gap level. Okay, so I mean, prices are far away from demand at the moment right now, and you just got to be careful on going long in this area on the USD INR as well. All right, let's look at the India VIX, and let's load the India VIX chart. All right, and what has happened on the India VIX? So let's go on to the daily chart, and as we can see, the India VIX has become volatile, but it's still trading in that range of 10% to 12%, right? Although we are seeing VIX slightly increasing. So in case if VIX slightly starts increasing and starts moving towards the 13 handle or the 14 handle, or let's say even the 15 handle, then we might see more of a bigger corrective move because that's how the India VIX and the markets are correlated. So if the VIX goes up, then markets move down, and if the VIX remains, flat or it starts to move down, then market starts to move to the upside. Let's look at the key stock for this week. All right, the key stock that we are looking for this week is one of the stocks from the FMCG sector, which is ITC. Let's have a look at ITC. So ITC has significantly moved up pretty strongly, and now we are seeing a little bit of profit booking coming into ITC. So let's look at some of the key levels on ITC on the weekly chart first. So on the weekly chart, we are sitting now in this weekly demand level, and we are just consolidating right now. So you can clearly see that price has come into this weekly demand and it is just consolidating. Can this lead to another spurt to the upside? So generally, whenever the prices come into this level and start to, give a little bit of a pause, we expect to see the prices to move, right? So in case if the prices move, where can they move up to? They can again go all the way and target these all-time highs, which is close to around 500 levels. Okay. So keep a close watch on ITC and the movement in ITC for this week, or let's say for the coming weeks. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed our analysis. If you are still not a member of Sher Khan Education on the YouTube channel, hit the subscription button and do like and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any valuable comments, please post them in the comment section. Have a wonderful trading week, everyone. Good luck and see you all next week. Bye bye.
This should not be treated as a recommendation. Please conduct your own analysis or consult a financial advisor before investing.